Hello everyone and welcome back to AMS for the second race of this Formula Omega season. Salma is on pole, Daniel in second, Liam third, Bronwyn fourth. And here we go, lights are starting. 5 lights. Long hold. It's a very long hold. And away we go. Good start from Liam, very bad start from Daniel. Daniel trying to go back around the outside. Inside of Liam into 2. That's a very nice reclamation of the position.
And that's putting Liam under pressure from Bron.
Very good start for Kerwood in 10th. Let's see that on board. Started 13th.
It looks like Alba ahead, like ahead on the left, has a bad start. Just from the bit I saw.
Yeah. So gets a decent drive. Then you got Alba and Kevin there, or Anna. Just outbreaks down the inside and keeps the position.
Just looked like he had more grip than anyone else, didn't it?
Yeah. So up ahead, Jack has overtaken Alex. Oh!
Jack going side by side and...
Mia H!
Alex
does take
H.
the position. That was...
The battle of the Alexes.
Yes.
And Alex moves up into 5th.
As Alex now losing places.
Yeah, this is a terrible start from him. Winner of the first race, of course.
Kerwood and Jack are having the best starts.
Do we think, very, very early days, they're light on fuel?
Yeah.
Because obviously if you've got a lighter fuel tank, that will give you a better start off the line.
I don't know.
We will see.
Jack now chasing down Alex. As Salma leads Daniel by over a second. As we come to the end of lap 1.
Salma was advantaged by Dan's battle with Liam, of course.
Yes,
it looks like they're still
Jack
extending that gap.
Move into 1.
Oh, getting so close!
How did they avoid contact?
Accidents in that corner tend to be pretty nasty as well.
Yeah, well, it's
such a high-speed corner.
Yeah.
And there's no runoff. As
Jack's still looking, have a go.
And up ahead, Bron's trying to get past Liam.
Jack drives nicely past there. Daniel has dropped Liam a bit. Jack will be right on the back of this battle, actually.
Jack does have seriously incredible pace right now.
I reckon this has got to be a low fuel.
Yeah. Do you think that Jack's going to chase down the leaders if he can get past these two?
Yes. At least up to Daniel. I'm not sure about about Salma.
I mean, if he's really light on fuel, this is what he's got to do.
Oh yeah.
Because he has to make an extra pit stop.
I reckon there'll be a move on Bronwyn into 1, especially. Oh,
bit of a poor.
Lawrence has crashed. Had such a good race before locking up last time, and that's a horrible camera angle.
Yeah, we can see that he just locked up going into that corner.
Go on board.
Presumably took him off the line.
Yeah, just lost it. Ooh, that's not fun.
To be honest, that doesn't even look like a driving mistake. It looked like some kind of issue with the brakes or something. Because he just couldn't get that car slowed down at all.
Yeah, just stepped on the brakes and they went. Out was trying to get past Kerwood in the meantime.
The second race running. Lawrence
Liam has got away a bit, but Jack...
Oh!
Making a habit of that. And Alex gets the move back. Is it going to give Alex, the other Alex, the chance?
This isn't going to get confusing at all.
No.
Well, Jack's going to have a run back on Alex into the third corner.
Jack did actually get past, and so did Mia. The Pentacorns now together. Will Kerwood take advantage? No. Good battling here in the mid-fac.
I think Alex must be on heavy fuel.
Quite possibly.
Because we know that car's got better pace than that.
This is also a very like momentum-based track.
Yes, yeah. If you have a poor line, it compromises you for several corners afterwards.
Yeah, indeed. Alex is now trying to get past Mia.
That is Mia ahead, yes. Both Pentacorns running well again.
Through the final sector. Jack, go for move on. Baldwin. Oh,
Keeps
so
going for
close
that move,
every
doesn't he?
lap. The thing is, one time it's going to work. It's going. Oh, that's a
Ooh.
horrible line.
That's going
Well,
to
the
lose him 2 places
Pentacorns.
at
Yes,
least.
the Pentacorns go through. Alex goes through as well. Kerwood has a much better run.
As the
As
two
the
Pentacorns battling.
Pentacorns.
Well, what we saw with Jack there, like he went slightly wide, and it cost him so many places.
There is not much grip off the line.
No, we saw that with Lawrence.
The Pentacorns again battling.
They're really costing each other time here.
The Salwins will be very happy.
Definitely.
Salwin not pulling out that much of a lead over Daniel. Oh,
Yeah.
Callum.
Ooh, Callum.
What happened there? Is it the same as Lawrence?
It's a few corners earlier. And we have the same issue with the camera, but oh.
Yeah, what is on with these directors?
Good that he wasn't especially near anyone behind.
Oh,
That
just clip the
could have been
inside.
very nasty when he
Clip
came
the
back onto
inside
the
curve.
track.
We've seen in other series, cars taking out like other cars and their teammates even through there with that mistake. As the Pentacorns, Mia passing Alex almost allows Alex through.
Alex might have a run into turn
Oh,
one.
and Jack's gonna go for it again.
Oh, I wouldn't go for that, Jack.
No, but he does hold the position over Alex. And Kerwood! Kerwood now! How did he keep that together? But will Alba take advantage?
Alp in the.
Oh yeah, Alp.
Alfa Romeo.
They're both red.
Lost places off the line, but they've had all right pace since.
And
They've
Jack
been able to
is
stick with
past Alex
Garrett.
ahead. Oh, there's
There's
contact
contact
between Kerwood and Alex. They seem to have both come off okay. Kevin now looking to take advantage, as is Greg. Greg goes down the inside of Kevin.
Great move from Greg, and it looks like he's going to hold it.
Oh, there's no way Alex isn't on high fuel, right?
He must be.
I refuse to believe that this is his pace. Oh, Alex locks up, just about keeps it going.
To be honest, there's an argument that Alex should let a lot of these cars go. Because he's losing time to the leaders
Alp
fast.
looking for a move on Kerwood? No.
Do we think Alex is the leading one-stopper?
It's hard to tell. We don't know what pace the front three have. I reckon Bronwyn.
Is one? Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Bronwyn could easily be the leading one-stopper.
I think Liam could well be too.
Yeah.
Like, Liam has great pace in qualifying.
Daniel.
Yeah. I think if Yongam's anything to go by, Dan probably prefers
I don't
the
think
two-stopper.
Salwin is, or Salma is.
I mean, if Salma's one stopping, she's basically won the race already. She's just got to keep it on the track. We'll find out soon enough.
We will. Yeah, you can see Salma and Daniel just kind of driving off by themselves here. I don't think Dan is particularly worried about the gap.
It feels like Salma and Dan are driving to a delta, to be honest, because they're very consistent.
Will
see just how...
go for a move into one? No, too far back, surely. Yeah.
So, Bron's been following quite close all race so far, but hasn't really looked like having a move.
It's all starting to spread out a bit, but Greg might be going for a move on Alp? Into two? Or just...
Definitely not the pace right now.
That was a great move!
And doesn't hit Carrot on the at the end of the braking zone.
I want to get a replay of that from Greg's perspective.
Such a good slipstream into one.
Yeah. Just jinx the inside, out brakes. Oh, how did they avoid contact?
I don't think Alp thought Greg was actually going to go for that one.
I don't think Greg thought Greg was going to go for that one.
It was a very opportunistic move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's thinking about going for a move on Carrot as well.
Carrot blocks off the inside. Smart move.
Carrot has been very aggressive with his defending this race.
Carrot is generally quite a cerebral driver.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because Carrot had such good pace in the early laps. Now it seems to have fallen off. Do you think he's worn out his tyres already?
I think he might be preserving them actually.
Quite possibly.
Like, just drive for a delta for a few laps, and then if you're, like, on a late two-stopper.
That might well be what Carrot's doing.
Jack drove past Mia before the hairpin. Will Mia have a go back into turn one? Or indeed, no, Bronwyn's still behind. As Mia's crashed! Same place as Lawrence.
Same place as Callum. Same place as Callum. Callum managed to avoid that outside wall. Mia.
That's different. That's very different.
Same corner, very different accident.
Yeah, this is taking... locked up a bit, had a bit of a wobble early, and just never got it turned in this time. So that's 3 cars out of the race now.
When we've raced here before, it does tend to be a high attrition track. Like, anyone that's still running could get points here.
And Alp really looking to get that position back.
Look at Alba running down in 13th.
Yeah, Greg got past, actually.
Alba's losing so much time behind this train. And yeah, Greg is gone. Carrot continues to drop back.
Ooh. Well, they're about to enter the yellow flag section, which is now cleared. The car of Mia has been cleared away.
Oh, Carrot!
Carrot! Oh, that's a
contact with Alba!
Alba's out! Carrot.
I think that might be an unsafe rejoining of the track from Carrot there.
Yeah, so Carrot makes the same mistake as Mia, and then just drives back on and loses his front wing, but like...
I think they were in control of their car.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
At that point as well. They clearly turned towards...
And then Alba's just out there.
I think they thought that the 2 cars behind him had gone past.
This is going to cause a big pile-up behind as well.
It's costing Quinn bad.
Keir.
Or Keir even.
And
Hisham had a great start.
Well, Callum spun off and Quinn is Quinn.
Yeah. What are these 2 doing?
Anyway, Jack got past Bronwyn in the meantime. How did that happen?
Bron must have made a mistake. Or no, Jack's just had really good pace after getting past Mia.
Yeah. Goes down the inside there. Forces Bron wide. And secures it in the last corner.
That mistake that Jack made a few laps ago that cost him 3 places.
Is that going to allow Mia through as well on Bron?
With the pace that Jack's got, I think that mistake that Jack made early that cost him 3 places, it's going to cost him dearly in this race.
Considered going down the inside of 3. So this is the most interesting battle right now.
I think Jack's just going to fly past him.
Yeah, but also behind Mia.
Bron is really falling off right now.
I wonder, did they lock up at some point?
It looks like they're in some kind of trouble, doesn't it? Because Bron's pace is not nearly as quick as what it was before. Of course, we saw that with Carrot.
Hisham up in 15th right now. Carrot having made the front wing change. Don't think he'll get any extra penalty, as that was really a penalty.
Yeah.
Lost 30 seconds from that.
That'll put them on an early 2-stop, I'll expect.
If they can, they might have to 3-stop.
They should be able to make it on 2, but it depends on what their strategy was originally.
It's a couple of laps early from what you want to be doing.
Yeah, no, it's not an optimal strategy at all. But he's got a bit of clear track in front of him. If he can make up some good time with the fresh tyres now, he's still in this race.
Oh! Who was that? That's Mary! Mary's out with a technical failure.
So both
rolling back onto the track? No. Engine clearly blown up there.
So, Jack now through past all of the traffic. What is his pace relative to Daniel and Salma?
Okay, so Salma, this lap... a 10th up... Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, Jack...
Salma's out! That looks like another puncture or suspension failure for Salma. Dan takes the lead. Jack will take 2nd. Liam 3rd. That's a horrible result. That's 2 races in a row. Puncture.
2 races. 2 races
right
where puncture. They were clearly on for a podium.
You've got to wonder, is that something with, like, the tyre rubbing against something with the car?
It's
happened
possible.
twice now.
Like once can be bad luck, and twice can be too. But the team have got to be looking at that. Because this is like Samhain have one of the quickest cars, and this is costing them a run at the championship.
Yeah, the only place I could think of would be like on the front wing, if there was some front wing damage, as Hisham pits. As does Greg, importantly. Greg did a 6.5. First of our scheduled pit stops.
Hisham in early. I'm not too surprised to see that. They had better pace than we thought.
It's an interesting pit exit for the freaking MIG.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward, isn't it?
Just about gets out there. Reminds me of Miami. Hisham comes out ahead of Kerrod.
Jack has dropped back towards Liam, interestingly.
I think this was always the gap to Dan.
Perhaps.
It's just that it was obscured by the gap to Salma.
But the gap to Liam is definitely closed up.
Pits, okay. Was
early start from the Pentacoron.
You had a feeling.
Perhaps, yes.
Definitely had a feeling that this was on a... that's a good pit stop.
Yeah.
Especially considering they're probably putting in decent amount of fuel.
You got to do a decent amount of fuel, otherwise you're going to do a really long final stint. Perhaps that is the plan, though. It
comes out in 11th. As Liam gets past Jack. Jack!
Is Jack off?
Yes, Jack spun! Oh, just went wide. Is that the second time we've seen that from Jack?
I think it is. Well, we saw them making a mistake earlier. A lot less costly, but we also, of course, saw them spin in the first race at Yongan.
Yeah.
So, Jack making a lot of mistakes this season for someone so experienced.
And Alba is still being pushed away.
Yes. Taking them a long time, isn't it?
Jack drops to last, basically. Oh.
And considering they probably don't have much more fuel in.
Yeah.
That's the end of their chance of a good result here.
Probably the end of their chance at points.
We'll see. We'll see
Meanwhile,
when we
Dan
get 10
leads
finishes.
by 6.7 over Liam.
And we're getting quite a way into the two-stop window now, aren't we?
Yeah, this is like towards the latter part of the two-stop window. Could Dan and Liam and Bron actually be on one-stops?
Well, their rivals will be hoping not. Every lap that those three go past the pits is...
another lap that Mia H has to make up.
Oh yeah, she's down in 10th place right now, behind Izu.
Yeah. How is she doing, actually? Not... Okay, so she's closing, definitely. As you'd expect the Pentagon to catch the Tiamat.
Yeah. She has to just go for it now, though. If you're on the two-stop, you've got to be flat out.
What if she's doing something... I don't think she's quite doing something like we saw with Dan and Yongam.
Perhaps
that middle
not.
stint.
Well, if Mia starts setting fastest laps...
As Alex pits. Alex not on a one-stop, we don't think.
So both Pentacorns pitting pretty early.
So, they did a 6.0 last time.
But the leading three are going to be so happy to see the cars behind pitting earlier than them. Not only do they have the pace over everyone, especially Dan, they also have more fuel.
6.2 from Alp. It's a good stop. Honestly, Alp's in contention for good points here. As Callum is in between them. Alex coming out ahead of Callum is important.
Yes, yes.
Like, she will be...
There's one less car to overtake.
Yeah.
That's a clear track.
Especially considering like, the speed of the Aston Martin.
Yeah, that's a hard car to overtake. She'll be a little nervous.
Tyres not warmed up for Alex yet, though.
Yeah. This is going to be under pressure.
That's Mia! Both Mia's out. Oh, wonder what that was. We'll get confirmation here in a second.
It's disappointing for the Pentacorn team.
It is.
Both cars to the end last race. They won't do it here
It
today.
was a transmission failure. You've got to wonder how Alex will be feeling, or even if they'll even tell her.
I think Alex was behind, right?
Yes.
So she would have seen.
Alex, yeah, they drove past. We were watching on Callum's onboard camera.
Yeah. So she would have seen that Mia's broken down.
Yeah.
Never a good thing to see your teammate broken down,
No.
driving the same car
Not a
as
good
you.
line from Bronwyn though.
No. Interestingly,
Although it did gain 2/10 on Liam.
Alex, who was struggling early in the race, seems to have stabilised his pace now.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that's
he's
the
keeping
thing
up.
with one-stoppers.
He's keeping up with Liam now. And I do think he was just driving to preserve his tyres early on.
Yeah, which is sensible.
Yeah. If Dan's two-stopping, then Alex is in contention for the win here.
Yeah.
It's increasingly looking, of course, that Dan's one-stopping.
It's looking like all of these top 7 are one-stopping.
It might well be. In which case, it looks like the one-stop is clearly the better strategy. Because Alex is at P8, and they all have to stop once, if they're all one-stopping.
Yeah.
So she's got to better have some incredible pace at this stint. She wants to get any kind of good points there.
Callum and Keir pit.
They're
Jack
probably not
hasn't
going
pitted
to
yet,
the
by the
end
way.
from there.
Jack had that pace and was likely on a one-stop.
He could have won this. Without those 2 mistakes.
But that's the thing, without those 2 mistakes.
He could have got a good result in Yongam as well.
Yeah. Hisham pits. Hisham pits shortly before being lapped by Daniel.
Daniel just
Starts
keeps
lap
going.
17. The thing is, so did Liam, Bronwyn and Alex. And Kevin. Both dancing donkeys going long, it seems.
I am completely surprised by this. I was convinced that at least Dan was two-stopping.
Well, how many cars do we have that have actually stopped early? Like, we have Alex. Alp has stopped.
Callum.
Alex, Alp, and Kerrod.
Kerrod.
Are the 3,
but not by choice.
And Callum, yeah. And Greg.
Kerrod, of course,
What
on
happened to
8-lap
Greg?
older tyres.
Did Greg just pit and then just not have pace?
I don't remember.
I think that's probably what's happened here.
Bron now within a second on Liam. They're slowly closing that gap down. Both of them are, actually. Alex is coming up to the back of Liam as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Liam had much better pace early. Do you think he's blown his tyres out?
Pits.
And he pits.
Yeah. As does Bronwyn.
Alex stays out.
Who's going to come out ahead of these two? They pull into their pit boxes identical times. 7.3 for Bronwyn. Bronwyn overtakes Liam in the pits.
It's a much quicker stop.
It's 1.3 seconds. That's an overtake in the pits.
And it didn't look like Bron was going to get that move done on the track, so that was a critical move.
Crucially, is between them.
Yes.
And Alex is... Ooh! Now, here's a thought.
Alex has gained quite well on those fresh tyres.
And this...
Like, she was nowhere near Liam before.
Yeah. So the two-stop could work.
The issue is, of course, that Alex has to stop again.
Yeah.
So she'll have to try and close up to these lot at the end on fresh tyres, because they're going to...
There is a chance, though, and we have seen it's possible to overtake. Dan pits from the lead on lap 18. It's got to be a one-stop, surely.
Surely. And I think they can do 22
Or they're
laps.
going to do the same as their Yongam middle stint.
We'll see based on how long this fuel stop is, I think.
This is a long fuel stop.
This is a one-stop fuel load.
8.7.
I'm certain of it. I'm not quite so sure about Bron.
Yeah, that was quite quick. It's like right on the edge of the one-stop, two-stop range. Kevin, that's also quite long. So Alex takes the lead for now. Importantly, Dan still gets out ahead of Hisham.
Yes.
And Anna.
And
who's
Anna.
Probably more important.
Yes. Anna yet to stop, of course, but...
Yep. But you don't want to be held up there.
No, and Anna's going to be a few seconds a lap slower on those old tyres.
Only down to 9th.
Alp on Liam!
Yes!
And this is for position, though Alp almost certainly has to stop.
Alp does have to stop again, surely. Jack sets the fastest lap.
Based on Liam's lack of pace right now, I'm absolutely convinced that he's fueled to the end.
Yeah. No, but Jack sets the fastest lap, right? Down in, what, 13th?
Yeah.
Still hasn't stopped.
He's thrown this
Jack
one
was
away.
fueled to halfway.
Has Jack actually not stopped yet?
No, don't think so.
Surely that can't be right. As Alp goes past Liam at the hairpin, they're still side by side.
Yeah.
He's taking the place. Backslash, isn't it?
Oh no, Jack has stopped. Greg has made 2.
Yeah, Greg clearly has some kind of issue.
Hisham.
We don't know what happened to either of them.
Did Greg and Hisham have contact at some point?
I can't imagine that.
Well, maybe after Greg's first
other.
pit stop. Liam's dropped behind Kevin now.
Liam just has no pace at all. Does he have a problem?
Let's not get into that. As Alex looking to get past Izzy.
Izzy looks like she has no breath at all.
Well, she hasn't pitted.
Yeah. She's done well to keep those tyres going that long. Of course, Dan's going to have to do the same.
Giving the Tiamat a chance, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, this is what Tiamat needed to do.
And of course, both her and Alex have to stop again. So this is a race for position.
That's a horrible exit for Alex. There goes Izzy.
Alex will be relieved to see that.
Yeah, but it did compromise. Oh!
Up on the inside.
We keep seeing them just miss there.
How have we not had an accident with people doing that?
I don't know. So Dan is driving to much the same pace as Alex?
Yes. The longer Alex runs with that kind of pace, like obviously Dan has a massive amount of fuel on board, but it's possible.
Alp got past Alex.
When we see Alex pit, if he pits in like the next few laps, he's going to have a 5-lap tyre advantage over Dan for the whole rest of the race.
It's a nice pass.
Yeah.
Sure, but he'll also be like 10 seconds down on him.
Oh, absolutely. But the race, like, the longer Alex can stay out with this kind of pace, the more he's putting in.
The thing is, Dan might just be conserving tyres knowing that.
Yes. We won't know until the closing laps.
The thing to do, if you're Dan, is just drive to a delta.
Yes. I think that's what they've been doing for the entire race so far.
Yeah.
It's definitely working for them, isn't it? They're still the clear favourite to win it.
Alex is on has a much lighter car right now, and is only driving very slightly, if not the same time, as Dan.
As Dan, yes. We'll see how it all works out at the end.
We'll see how the delta for the tyres compares to the delta for the fuel.
Yeah, it looks like they're about the same,
Callum and Izzy battling. Oh wow, what is going on here?
Greg thinks about moving one, but that's going to let Jack on the inside.
The inside of Greg.
Good move from Jack. He could still get points there today.
Who was that we saw in the pits? Oh, it's Quinn.
Alex getting past Alp. That's a re-overtake, isn't it?
It is. Also, we're seeing Jack here.
Jack going past Izzy and
Callum! And Callum, who locks up.
I think Jack would have been as surprised as us that one worked.
Alpha's dropped quite far back. Did he make a mistake? Yes.
Yes. Similar thing to what Callum did.
And more importantly, Kerrod.
Yes, so close to hitting Alex when he came back onto the track.
Yeah.
I think we can agree that Alex in the Think Again is Dan's only competition for the win here.
Yes.
As it stands. Because Anna in P3
Bronwyn
is yet to
Bronwyn
stop.
is the next one.
Yes, but we don't even know if Bronwyn's going to the end. Like,
No.
she has a short pit stop and she has much better pace than Liam.
Alex and Alp are like there, but like all of them are over 10 seconds behind Dan.
Yeah, I think we got.
Do you think Alex is trying to pull out a pit stop over Bronwyn?
Yes. The bigger surprise is that it's working on those old tyres, especially if Bronze
there we
do
go.
something. Lap 23, so they were running a lot of fuel right at the start when they lacked pace.
We did say. Oh, there goes Izzy out of the pits ahead. Is that Izzy's? Oh.
That is Izzy. That'll be a last stop.
That's a technical failure, probably. Or a very short middle stint. Anna also pits. Nice stop from Alex. As Dan does take the lead. This will be a big lead.
It'll be some 10 seconds, I think.
Unfortunately, where does Anna come out compared to Kevin?
But Alex is out ahead of Bron.
Alex does get ahead of Hisham.
That's important.
That's more important, I'd argue.
I think he'd go straight past Hisham down the straight, but...
Anna comes out in 8th.
Very good stop. And she'll have decent tyres to the end now.
She will.
Anna's got a good chance here.
Alex only 7 seconds back. What kind of times are they doing?
This Jack sets another fastest lap. Given that he's got lighter fuel than he did at the start, his pace will definitely be better in this stint than the previous one. And we can already see
4 tenths faster in the middle sector.
The race for the lead is far from over. Dan is going to have to up the pace, I think, to hold off Alex here.
So, of course, Alex won race 1.
They'll be able to take a big lead in the championship if they can win this one as well.
A whole second taken out in the lap.
They're going to be with Dan by lap 30 at that rate.
Yeah, could be overdriving their tyres though.
We'll see.
Oh, that
definitely
looks
like it. Alex is pushing so hard right now.
Yeah.
Just about gets away with that though, but it's cost him a bit of time.
Probably, what, 6 tenths?
Yeah. Like the first sector's the shortest.
Sure.
So it's definitely the least time to be gained there. But he would have been, based on what we've seen before.
Greg makes 3rd pit stop, by the way.
That'll drop him well down the order. Callum now back into the points.
Indeed.
Keir running in P11.
Yeah, Alex already back up to where he was at the end of the previous lap. This is an interesting battle.
Yeah. So we know Alex and Anna both have to stop again. Yeah. And we think Ron might have to as well.
Yeah, we'll catch back up with the leaders when they're actually close.
Yes. This is the battle for the remaining podium spot.
It's currently 4th. Or 3rd, yeah. Alex or Alp? No, doesn't go for it.
Of course, there are cars behind that we know are running to the end. Or at least are pretty certain.
So
they're in the fight for the... Yeah. So they're in the fight for the podium too.
Yeah. I reckon we won't know until the final 5 laps.
That's the great thing about this format, isn't it?
Yep. Alp.
On the inside.
And through.
Very nice move.
And a decent exit too. Alex might be going for it here. Though she has to be wary about getting a poor exit.
Yeah, all running wide through Hisham. Hisham could influence this battle quite a lot. Yellow flag, someone seems to have gone off at the same... That's a technical problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I thought Anna was...
Anna just retired.
On for a good result
I think that's a front right puncture. Or suspension failure.
Looks like it. You can see that the car is at a strange angle.
It is. That actually puts Keir up into the points for Queer. They did score last race, of course.
They did.
Keir just made another stop. Down in 15th. Right ahead of Dan. This is... Yes, it was a front right puncture for Anna. Must have been a relatively quick puncture. So we saw Dan pit with a slow puncture in Yongam.
We did, but Anna's tyre just went down in the space of one corner.
Yeah.
Probably got cut from some debris or something.
If Dan can get past these two quickly, there is Alex.
Alp gets past Braun. That's for the podium. Same move they made on Alex.
Yeah.
End of that long straight. It's probably the best overtaking point on the track. Certainly the safest one.
Yeah, I was about to say turn 2 is quite good.
Yes. You got to be brave to do it.
But you got to be brave to race in this series.
You do.
Hisham not really dropping back to them.
Alex reducing that gap down to 3.2 out front now.
Dan is probably just about getting in the dirty air.
Yeah. Dan has to get past those two quickly with Alex coming up behind. He's got to hope that they've got to hope that that they lose less time. That was a
second in the final sector. Does Dan have an issue? Alex pits.
So that's about when you would expect for a second stop. I think we'll see the other second stops pretty soon.
It's another good stop from Pentagon.
Yeah.
As the car's now clearing Hisham. It's under 2 seconds now.
But they still haven't got past those two lap cars, which are honestly not going that slowly.
No. Well, one of them is Kerrod.
And they've both pitted quite recently. They're on quite fresh tyres.
Yeah. 1.3 now the gap. Oh, didn't look the best corner for Alex.
I don't seem to have lost too much though, do they?
If you're Dan here, no, you don't risk pitting.
No, not if you're fuel to the end. If you were going to do that, you would have put less fuel in at the start. But of course, Dan didn't.
Alp pits. Alp pitted the same lap as Alex last time.
Is Jack in as well?
Yes. So Jack went very long on that first stint.
Yes. That's a strange strategy from Jack. It's going to give him very good pace at the end. Alp exits the pits ahead of Alex. Here's the battle for the lead.
Yeah. Alex is probably just going to drive past here.
Dan thinks about defending, but I think they realised that they had lost that.
I think they're probably going to drive to get second here.
Yeah. Alex clearly has much better pace right now.
You take the points where you can get them.
I think Dan would have been surprised to find out just how quickly Alex was closing up. Because of course Alex had no pace in the opening laps.
And Kerrod did get past Izzy. Of course, Alex is now caught up to the back of these two.
He's got to get past them both too.
And Izzy lets Alex through.
Another race to forget from Izzy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Run last pretty much all day in Yongan. Pretty much the same here. This is not what that Tiamat team would have hoped for.
Jack gets past Keir, but that's to be expected.
Yes, Keir in the pits. Unscheduled stop, it looks like. Oh no, the pit crew are there. They just were invisible for a moment.
They're obscured from that camera angle. Loses 2 seconds in the first lap. Oh! Alex is going slowly!
And Izzy's back through!
Yeah.
Has Alex got a problem?
Was there just a horrible attempt at an overtake?
Well, Alex is going to go for it again past Izzy.
So's Dan,
nice slipstream from Dan. This race for the lead isn't over yet.
No. I think Alex just had a horrible corner trying to overtake the lap car.
And of course, there is a risk with the pace.
Oh no, I know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That Keir came out of the pits directly in front of Alex.
Oh, yes, that must have been what happened.
Yeah.
Well, Alex is through now.
Is he? Go. Yeah.
Not quite what to say about this. It's the only battling with any top drivers that it's going to get to do, though. If he tries to go for it there, why would you risk that?
Because you get the place.
I mean,
it's the only way to get the place on Dan.
They'd have to go all the way around the lap and catch back up, and then overtake again to get the place.
Yeah, but if Dan's out.
Oh, it's true. I feel like Izzy
let's go away from that nonsense.
So Kevin and Braun setting pretty similar pace, it seems like. That battle for third.
This is battle for the points.
We were uncertain as Greg goes for a move past Quinn.
And does not get it.
No.
However, into one.
Oh no.
Not close enough. You need a good exit off the final corner. Could go for two? No, you're not going around the outside of two.
It does look like Braun and Kevin are going to run to the end at this point.
Yeah.
Which raises the question as to why Liam has been so off the pace in his second stint. Because if he has the same fuel load as those two, he's just been way slower on this set of tyres.
Yeah. We've just never got them switched on, I guess.
Looks like it. Of course, Alp and Alex H are going to be putting him under pressure pretty soon, so they're on very fresh tyres.
Yeah. Alex now leads by 4.5 over Dan. This was never really in question.
No. But it didn't look like Alex had a chance of winning this early on, did it?
It didn't. But just having such fresh tyres so late on.
The long one-stopper, if you can survive the early laps, seems to be a very good strategy.
It does.
And it's definitely looking like one stop was the strategy to have around here in January.
What, I'd say up to about, 40% of teams have probably got it wrong?
Yeah.
Oh no, 40% of teams got it right, sorry.
Like most of the top teams seem to have gone for a one-stop, so they clearly knew, but Pentagon definitely got it wrong.
I mean, if you're a lower team, might you go for the two-stop just to try and gamble?
If you're a lower team, you definitely go for the unusual strategy, just in case it works, because you're not getting any points otherwise anyway, right?
And, I mean, who's that been working for? Like, Callum? Greg? I don't know. Let's take a look at who's done...
Well, Greg's made 3 stops, hasn't he?
So, yeah, the top 5 have all one-stopped. Once we get the screen back. The top 5 have all one-stopped. The next have all 2 or 3 stopped. And then Quinn has only 1 stopped, but is in a queer.
Yeah, that car is not competitive right now.
No, and the cars we've lost, Anna, Mia, Selma, Mary, Alba, Mia and Lawrence.
Most of those were very early on. We haven't had many retirements in like the last 20 laps.
We had Anna.
We did.
With the puncture. 6.8 now the gap.
As Kevin is right on the back of Braun for the last podium spot.
It's 3/10 closer than it was 3 laps ago.
Yes. So...
It's not really...
He's in slipstreaming range. I would watch this going into turn 4.
Yeah. But Kevin hasn't really been gaining time in the final sector.
No, I think this is where it matters though.
All of the other runs.
If he can get a good slipstream here, he might have a chance.
He's going to go for it.
Braun tries to defend.
Kevin does go down the inside into third.
The other battle to watch.
8 places for Kevin.
Braun's going to try and come back.
Braun win. Switches to the inside. Oh!
She's off!
She just about keeps on. Alp got past. Liam has spun! Never got those tyres working, was under pressure from Alp. Was there contact?
We'll see. Alp have been closing up at seconds per lap.
Oh
And
no!
Liam just loses it.
Under pressure.
Brakes too late. Blocks the rears.
And Alex goes
Around
through
it
as
goes.
well. Does Jack? There's 5
No,
laps
but-
remain.
But Jack has much fresher tyres and Liam couldn't afford to
And
lose
also
that kind of
much more
time.
speed.
Yes, yeah, I mean, Jack's the fastest car out there.
Well, it's also just the momentum. Liam had to get back up to speed.
Yeah, yeah. And of course Liam's tyres are going to be,
Liam
to be
lost,
an even worse
Liam lost 10
shape
seconds with that spin.
Yeah, it'll work out as more than that in the end. Will we see him come into the pits at the end of this lap? Because he's got no pace whatsoever.
I think the only way you stay in the points is to stay out there.
He's got to just try and
Yeah, there's only 5
keep it
laps
on the
remaining.
track, hasn't he? Jack's going to go for his favourite overtaking move.
Into 2, yes. Got out of it early, not trusting Liam.
I think he knows he can get Liam down the next straight and he'll be a lot safer, but he doesn't have a... Oh, look how much more grip he has,
There we
though.
go. Jack does take 7th. Quite comfortably in the end. Liam again going wide on that corner.
4 laps to go. The gap between Alp and the one stopping Bronwyn is 7 seconds. How much is he closing up per lap? Is there a race for 4th here?
Bronwyn had a hot... Yes.
Yes.
Bronwyn, so Alp was half a second faster in the first sector, 1.5 through the second.
Oh. What can he gain in the final sector?
Another 6/10.
This race is definitely on. He needs 2 seconds a lap, or even less than that now.
He gained 2 seconds a lap.
Alp will be with Bron on the last lap.
And honestly, I don't think Alp would have been in the race for the top 2, having one stopped.
No, probably not. Not given his starting position.
Close. This is going to be very close between these two.
It is.
Alp C.
I think Alex is definitely too far back in 6th.
Yeah.
To have any
and
chance
also
of gaining
Alex
any
isn't
places.
gaining.
No, no. Indeed, Alex needs to be more worried about Jack behind, who's only 4 seconds off and has had great pace all race.
He's gaining. Did we just have... Oh! Kerrod's going slowly. Kerrod's going very slowly. Kerrod retires. Having caused the crash of Albert earlier. As Dan and Izzy trundle past, still together.
Alex now leads by 12 seconds. This was
really
never in question,
Dan,
was it?
I think Dan just let Alex go, to be honest.
Yeah, Dan's backed off now.
Like, Dan was more focused on just making sure that Kevin stays behind.
It's strange
not
because
making any mistakes.
On lap 20, it felt like they were on for a comfortable win, didn't it?
You were saying that Alex would have a very good tyre advantage.
And I didn't think it would be this much. I thought it would be Alex closing up about now.
Yeah.
But
the tyre advantage, like, I don't know.
It definitely feels like
Alex's tyres were switched on immediately.
Yeah, I think Dan might have had the same issue as Liam as well. Like, we don't know that, of course, but Dan's pace in the second stint definitely doesn't seem to be quite what it was in the first.
They finally put out a yellow. As the Queers are battling.
This is over no
11th.
points.
Yes.
Quinn on very old tyres, having one stopped. Quinn stopped much more recently.
And are they just going to swap? No.
There's no team orders at Team Queer, it seems.
Well, especially when it doesn't matter.
No.
Like,
I'm sure the team would rather they didn't hit each other.
to just getting your car to the end.
No. Alex's gap to Bron now under 4 seconds.
Yeah, 3.3 is he? 3.7. As Kidd does make the overtake. As Alex starts the final lap, Alp can see Bronwyn.
I don't think Alp's got quite enough to do this, to be honest. It seems like Bron's up the pace lately. We'll see what it is going on to the final lap.
It's been 1.1 through the first 2 sectors.
I don't think 1.1 through the first 2 sectors is enough when he's still got 3 seconds with 4 sectors to go. Jack is closing up on Alex.
Yeah.
So this race might have a few final twists in it. Surprising us right to the end.
As Alex has now lapped Callum and Greg.
This has been a dominant second stint from Alex, hasn't it?
It has.
No one's been anywhere close to his pace, except maybe Jag.
And Alp. But Alp both of them
two-stopped. Yeah. Alp has had the pace of the two-stoppers, or better.
Yeah. Alex comes through the final couple of corners.
Alp.
And Alex is the deserving winner of the French Grand Prix. Callum will take 2 points. Greg 1. Keir ends up quite a bit ahead of Quinn, but out of the points in 11th. Quinn is 12th. Jack gets past Alex. How did that happen?
That's an interesting place to make an overtaking move at the end of this straight.
Just had so much more grip.
And Alex just can't fight that one.
Yeah, just drives past. You're up ahead. Out, he's close to the back of Bronwyn. However, final few corners.
Looks
Kevin
like
has taken
got
third. Bronwyn got it by only a second in the end.
One more lap.
Jack with an impressive 6th, to be honest, given how much he messed up.
Yes, and he was closing the gap.
Alex
he closed the gap on
Liam,
Alex towards the end.
The last driver on the track, on the lead lap, will finish 8th. Hisham 14th. And who's 13th? We've missed 13th.
With that result, Alex becomes only the 2nd driver to have won 2 races in a row in Formula Omega history.
Indeed. And thank you everyone for watching the French Grand Prix.